Studio Chess. Welcome to Think-Design-Provoke, the podcast, an intimate space where every week you receive inspiration about the fascinating world of interior design and all the benefits and effects in your lifestyle. My name is Francesca, and we will create meaningful conversations to unveil the enigmatic perception of interior design as a discipline that simply focuses on aesthetics. We will expose everything from interiors to its relationship to architecture, surroundings, history, and culture. We will challenge the misconception of interior spaces confined in architectural boundaries. We will understand that interior spaces provide the setting for human activity and are created to fulfill human desires and needs, where sensory pleasures and engagement are celebrated. That is the built environment, the connection between individuals, physical spaces, experience, emotions, and its social consequences. I am your host, and I invite you to join the design conversations that will elevate your consciousness about interiors. Consciousness that will embrace the beautiful possibilities of manifesting all your senses in your space. Hello! Welcome to episode 9 of Think, Design, Provoke, the podcast. I am excited to be here connecting with you this week, creating these meaningful design conversations. Happy Friday! This podcast is presented by Studio Chess Interior Architecture Design Studio. In this 9th episode, we are going to converse about universal design and its meaning. Universal design is a fundamental condition of good design because it can be accessed, understood, and used to the greatest extent possible by all people, regardless of their disabilities. A space should be designed to meet the needs of all people who wish to use it. When a space is accessible, usable, and pleasurable to use, everyone benefits. The composition of a universal design environment sets the tone for consciousness, social inclusion, and diversity. Do you have a disability? Or do you know anybody with physical limitations? Let me tell you how the universal design approach started. Ronald Mays was an American architect, industrial designer, educator, and consultant. He made a huge impact on not only the disability community, but the whole human population. He was born in 1940 as a healthy baby. However, at 9 years old, he contracted polio, leaving him to use a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Ronald then began to experience all the barriers that people with disabilities face daily. Dealing with barriers and obstacles, he strove for success and attended North Carolina State. While in college, he observed a couple of problems. His wheelchair would not fit through the bathroom door, and he had to be carried up and down the stairs to attend class. He graduated in 1966 with a degree in architecture. At the beginning of his career, he was working on designing usual houses and buildings. After 4 years, he decided to focus on accessible housing with a universal design approach. His concept of universal design was to design all products and buildings to be visually pleasing and usable to the greatest extent possible by everyone, regardless of age, ability, or situation. Not only did he design universally accessible buildings and products, but he also assisted in the development of America's first accessible building code back in the 1970s. That led to regulations and federal legislation advocating for the disability community rights and prohibiting discrimination against people with physical impairments. Ronald passed away in 1998 at age 58. But his legacy lives clearly around us, whether you are aware or not about the history. His thinking and application of the term universal design is an inclusive philosophy so that all people can access and easily use and enjoy the design. As with every well-thought-out philosophy, there are principles that guide the design process in order to enjoy successful environments. Let's dive in to understand the 7 principles of universal design. I am sure you have experienced all these conditions that I am going to explain. Here's the first one. Equitable use. This means that the design is useful and marketable to people with diverse abilities. For example, a counter space or desk surface may be raised or lowered to accommodate users of varying height, or an individual who uses a wheelchair. Think about when you are in the line at the bank to make your transaction with the teller. I am sure you have seen the different heights at the transaction countertops. Handicapped people as well come independently to the bank to receive their services, and it needs to be accessible and safe for them. We are all equal. No user should be stigmatized or segregated. Good design should be appealing to all users. On to the second one, flexibility in use. This means that the design accommodates a wide range of individual preferences and abilities. For example, a captioned video will allow people to listen or read to understand the content. Also, let's think about a trip to the movie theater. Slightly inclined ramps that lead into the theater give access to wheelchair parking and some of the best seats in the house. I am sure you have experienced this, right? Or a museum that offers a visitor the option to read or listen to a description of the content of a display case. These are each examples that employ this principle. Okay, number 3, simple and intuitive. This means that the use of the design is easy to understand regardless of the user's experience, knowledge, language skills, or current concentration level. For example, the large buttons of a washing machine in the laundry room of a home help users understand the purpose of each button. Or the same concept on the remote control for the TV will facilitate access to the information. This principle eliminates unnecessary complexities. We all experience this on a daily basis. Think about it. The fourth principle, perceptible information. This means that the design communicates necessary information effectively to the user, regardless of ambient conditions or the user's sensory abilities. For example, when a doorbell flashes, rings, and vibrates, the people who are deaf, blind, or both can all answer their doors. Isn't this awesome? It provides compatibility with a variety of techniques or devices used by people with sensory limitations. Principle 5 is the tolerance for error. This means that the design minimizes hazards and the adverse consequences of accidental or unintended actions. This is key. For example, a hallway that is free of protruding objects at a height where they will not be detectable by someone with visual impairment who uses a cane. When I say protruding objects, I mean projecting or sticking out. This could be in any space like an elevator, a courtyard, or a stairway. But imagine a blind person walking through a hallway in an office space with wall sconces, handrails, drinking fountains, or cabinets projecting into the circulation path. Not only will these be obstructions, they will be a hazard to the person with or without the use of their cane. This will not only be unpleasant, but also dangerous for that user. I am not going to get into the details of dimension limits or proper location of protruding objects because that is not what this conversation is about. But I want to give you clear reference where you can visualize the scenarios I am explaining and understand that you interact with these conditions on a daily basis, whether you are aware of them or not. Number 6, low physical effort. This means that the design can be used efficiently and comfortably with minimum fatigue. For example, an automatic door opener can facilitate access to a space. Think about an airport. Isn't it convenient to walk inside the airport with your luggage without the stress of maneuvering between your belongings and the door? You see? It allows users to maintain a neutral body position and minimize repetitive actions. Or what about the moving walkway that makes each of us feel bionic when walking on it? Pretending we're Steve Austin in the $6 Million Man episodes. So disabilities or not, we all enjoy the benefits of universal design. Okay, friend, last one. Size and space for approach and use. This means that the appropriate size and space is provided for approach, reaching distance, and use regardless of the user's body size, posture, or mobility. For example, within a school, a classroom includes a range of seating options, including a table for someone who uses a wheelchair or wider chairs for individuals who are taller or larger. All of us, including you and myself, experience the benefits of universal design on a daily basis. Here are other quick examples. The curb cut effect. Think about sidewalks and places where the sidewalk has been cut out to allow for easy movement of people, wheelchairs, and luggage from the sidewalk to the road. They are sloped slightly like small ramps. The leveled surface of a train platform surface and lift can be helpful to a person in a wheelchair or a mother with a child in a baby stroller. Automatic doors at malls, hospitals, airports, and shops. Those are becoming the standard in all places. Have you noticed the application of Braille in restroom signage, for example? A system of raised dots that can be read with the fingers by people who are blind or who have low vision? There are other conditions or developments that some people take for granted because of their common universal use, such as ramps that were originally intended for people in wheelchairs, but are used today by all of us. Also kitchen cabinets with pull-out shelves and counters at several heights. Those are becoming popular options everywhere. Just look around and observe, and you will find plenty of examples that you utilize every day. You must be thinking, wow, but I didn't know all this information was related to interior design. Ooh, surprise! Yes, it is. And it is my responsibility as a designer to consider the needs of all users and promote equal opportunities and social integrations through the space I am designing. I know there are so many misconceptions out there regarding interior design. Just know that design is not only for the wealthy, the healthy, the young, or the old. It involves everyone. It's more than just your home and the beauty you can create. It is the what, the how, the who, and the why, which are imperative in any design intervention. Design thinking is a non-linear process. It takes iterations to understand the user's needs, challenge assumptions, and create innovative solutions to a design problem. If you feel identified and connected with this podcast, please join the design conversations and invite your friends and family to be part of our community. I will be here every Friday to chat with you about interesting topics within the fascinating interior design world. In the next episode, I will chat with you about the relationship between furnishings and the space and its constant dialogue. If there is a specific topic that you want me to discuss, or if you have any questions, please feel free to DM me through Instagram or Facebook. Also, you can send me an email at thinkdesignprovoke@gmail.com. Please follow me on my social media platforms at Studio Chess to continue the design conversation. In the episode notes, I am including the contact links for your reference. If you find value in this content, please share this episode in your social media or chats, and remember to leave me a review on Apple Podcasts or your favorite audio platform. Thank you for your attention and for being on the other side. It is my absolute pleasure to be here with you. I'll chat with you next Friday, and remember, everything in the built environment is by design, and you are part of it. Ciao, ciao!